I met her in a gas station bathroom. She was fighting a raccoon for a corn dog.
She won.
And that's when I knew,
She was the one.
or at least the one for now. Said her name was Cinnamon, but her name tag said Regret. She looked me dead in the eye and said, "You ever made out in a porta potty during a tornado warning?" I said, "Not yet." She said, "Hold my vape." I said, "Okay then, Miss Regret." She walked into the bait shop with blood on her Crocs, and a ferret on a leash made a dental floss. She smelled like diesel fuel and broken promises, had a tramp stamp that said, "Ask me about my probation." I was intrigued, mostly terrified, but intrigued. She looked at me and said, "You ever licked a toad just to feel something?" I said, "No ma'am, but I once rubbed one out to the image of an Amish Daisy Duke." She said, "Close enough." And then we slow danced in the parking lot to the sound of her ex's muffler dragging across gravel. Well, I thought, damn, she's pretty weird. Yeah, she's a little fucked up in the head. She looked me dead in the eye and said, "You ever kissed a man while wearing a rubber chicken mask and riding a shopping cart down a hill?" I said, "Not yet." She said, "Hold my pickle jar." I said, "Okay, but this is getting weird even for me." But off she goes again. We got married in a dollar store. She was using a broom to chase a rat, squished him on the floor. Right then I knew Cinnamon wasn't just a two-bob whore. She looked at me and said, "You ever tried to cook rattlesnake in an air fryer?" I said, "No, but I once made love on a cricket pitch to the sound of wombat getting fucked by the farmer's son." She laughed, handed me a melted chocolate bar, and we danced under a fluorescent light in the emergency room. She had a taxidermied cocker spaniel in a purple doggy sweater. Does this girl get any weirder? Her car, a minivan with a mattress in the back and a tattoo on her ass that says free Wi-Fi. Wasn't long before Cinnamon couldn't hold down her morning cuppa. I knew right away my precious Cinnamon was pregnant. We celebrated with some special fried rice, washed down with some Jack Daniels on ice. We named the baby Darla after Cinnamon's mother's cousins, neighbors, friends, teachers, son's pet lizard. Yeah, she's still pretty weird, still fucked up in the head. She looks me dead in the eye and says, "You ever tried to bottle feed a retarded otter in a traffic jam?" I say, "Not yet." She says, "Hold my leftover spam." I say, "Hell, this is our life, ain't it?" She said, "You're goddamn right, it is big old pudding dick." Well, a few years passed, and now we're living in a trailer park. Our front yard's got a trampoline and a broken shopping cart. Cinnamon's still fighting raccoon. She's got a whole crew. So here's to the girl who stole my heart.